This is Newcap News with Nicole Stilger.
Well, for those looking to get rid of their Christmas trees, the City of Lloydminster will help. From January 9th to 13th, the city will carry out curbside tree pickup. The trees are to be set next to garbage bins on the curb, uncovered by the 7 a.m. in accordance with the regular garbage pickup day of each zone.
A lot of people will carry them out in garbage bags so they don't get the needles all over the house, but we just ask that the garbage bags and everything are removed when they're on the curb, and then we'll trip them right into a truck there and home to the landfill.
Henning says they usually haul in around 200 to 300 trees each year, which makes it especially important that anyone leaving a tree curbside make sure it's free of all decorations.
People take for granted sometimes and just leave some stuff on, but for the purpose of cleaning up, the trees are chipped, so it's a part of the recycle process, and none of the other stuff is recyclable.
Anyone who misses their garbage pickup time can call the Ops Center and ask for waste collection department or take their tree down to the landfill themselves prior to the 14th. Well, Bonnyville has been feeling the effects of a slumping oil patch, but the community remains optimistic heading into 2017. The municipality has been easing the impact on their ratepayers, while local construction developments have increased. Adam McVicker spoke with Mayor Sobelewski about the ups and downs.
Well, Mr. Mayor, I appreciate you taking a few minutes this morning to answer some questions of mine. And I guess my first question for you, what are some highlights for the town of Bonnyville in 2016?
We started out in the beginning of the year with a lot of uncertainty with the economic climate and things like that. We had some unpredictability from the provincial government. And our council, we sat down at the table and we said, you know what, we need to really come up with a concerted plan and to really start to embellish this idea of cooperation, collaboration. So we did. And as a result of that, we have some incredible gains on the healthcare front, on the infrastructure front, and on the intermunicipal relations front.
I guess you did mention the economy. So what are some challenges you guys did face over the past year?
There's not as many projects going on in terms of the oil patch and things like that. We've got a higher unemployment. We were hit very hard last year, and we're hit again this year in terms of declining assessments and things like that. So that was a bit of a negative, but we know there's light at the end of the tunnel, so we're working towards those goals.
So I guess as mayor, what have you been hearing from the locals over the past year?
A lot of mixed feelings. There's a feeling of uncertainty with the economy and what are we doing, and then also a lot of positive comments in terms of how we're managing to move forward, how we're managing to keep our taxes flat, yet still continue to invest and still continue to have our goals and visions with the future.
So now looking forward to next year, what are some goals you have for 2017?
Getting some more local people in that water line we've been fighting so hard for 15 years, and also increasing the healthcare initiative. We want to engage Alberta Health Services not only in mental health but also with the CT, but continuing to expand the level of service in this region so that we can actually save Alberta Health Services money by not having to transport patients out.
Well, Mr. Mayor, that's all the questions I had for you. Thank you so much for joining me and taking the time out, and Happy New Year.
Thank you very much, and Happy New Year to all your listeners and the residents of Lloydminster.
Well, it's the last weekend of the year, and there are a number of New Year's Eve parties planned. Heather Klages has those details in this week's What's Happening.
I'm not quite ready for the New Year's Eve glow party like Nicole was last week, but there's still lots of time for you to get that white t-shirt or that hot pink out and head out for a fantastic New Year's Eve party in support of the B. Fisher Center. You can get your tickets now, then head out to Ring in the New Year, where you've got a chance to win some great prizes, and they're even going to have a prize for the best dressed. The party at the Wild Rose Pavilion out at the Lloyd X grounds. You can get your tickets by stopping by the B. Fisher Center. You've got plenty of opportunities to ring in the new year tomorrow night by catching some great local entertainment. If you head to Kit Scotty for their New Year's Eve bash, you're going to get to dance the night away to the Dirt Rich Band. If you want to head out to Blackfoot, another great local entertainer is there. The Kenny Mac Band will be there to help you ring in the new year. So plenty of opportunity to see great local musicians and help ring in 2017. You can spend the day in the great outdoors tobogganing down your favorite hill, then spend the evening dancing the night away to some great new music from Dean Brody. You've got a chance to win a copy of his latest album, Beautiful Freak Show. It includes the hits Bush Party and Time. If you want a copy, it's really easy. All you have to do is email your name and daytime phone number to tvcontests@newcap.ca. We want to say thanks to John at Universal Music Canada for setting us up with the music. And now is the perfect opportunity for you to register for the second annual Transplant Trot that's taking place in Lloydminster coming up on January the 28th. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, I hope you have a great one. I'm Heather Klegus, and that's what's happening.
Well, 2016 was a very prosperous year for Lloydminster Minor Hockey. The organization saw the launch of the new Steelers female hockey program, among many other initiatives. Lance Phillips caught up with General Manager Darrell Wagner to talk minor hockey in the border city.
One of the successes I know you had in 2016 was the midget AAA boys team and what they did going to the TELUS Cup. You know, what is having a program like that, what does that mean for minor hockey in this area?
You know what, it's huge. Having a team be that successful, going and participating in a national championship, it just makes the kids that are eligible to try out for those teams want to come to Lloydminster and play hockey here. It strengthens those teams, but it also strengthens all of our teams below those levels because there's less Lloydminster kids playing on the AAA team. Thus, they're playing maybe AA or A hockey, which strengthens all of our programs.
This is a real hockey market here, and I've heard that numerous times. Do you think that having a program that does something like that, that gets to that level at the TELUS Cup, do you think it put Lloydminster on the map?
Oh, absolutely. I think that in conjunction with some of the other things that Lloydminster minor hockey does. We have an extensive development program for all of our minor hockey teams. We have a coach mentorship and development program as well. So, you know, we're kind of taking the step forward on that, saying we got to educate our coaches, we got to educate our players, and continue building successful teams and programs. I think it's more about building a successful program. If you build the program properly, the teams will be successful.
Off camera, we were talking about a new initiative you have coming up. That's pretty important for just getting some players that might be recognized weekly. Let's talk about that a bit.
Lloyd Minor Hockey just partnered with Sport Check on Player of the Week award. We're starting it next week. It's for grassroots minor hockey teams. So we've just working on the criteria to have players nominated and receive a weekly award from Sport Check. And then we will do something at our AGM at the end of the year for the overall player within Lloyd Minor Hockey. So it's exciting to do that.
I know it's exciting for you. How exciting do you think it is for players who are going to learn about this initiative?
Well, I think it's going to be good because the criteria we're putting down isn't based on you scored the most points in a game. That's not the criteria we're looking at. We're looking at kind of the all-around athlete, the all-around player, hardest working kid, the kid, you know, it's going to be exciting for them.
It's interesting you say that because in sports so many times emphasis is put on wins and losses. So how important do you think it is that you're emphasizing something different, sportsmanship, how hard you play, how much you enjoy the game? That's important.
Well, I think it's critical because you're right. Hockey success is measured by wins and losses, and the best player scores the most points. And we've got to change that mentality and that philosophy because it's about fun, it's about developing skills, life lessons, and everything. And I think as an association, we've been moving towards that, and this just helps us solidify that statement.